Anyway, so he reported on it's like I hate that we can't call it headlines anymore. On the Hockey Night in Canada version of 32 Thoughts.
We'll just call it 32 Thoughts. It's one of the 3 times they speak on a weekly basis.
One of the dozens of times those two talk to each other throughout the week. Reporting that John Klingberg wants a max 8-year deal, and he was the number is apparently between 62 and 66 million. So if you break that down to AAV, it's between 7.7, 8.2, kind of wide, kind of silly. We know what John Klingberg is: offensive defenseman. Probably going to make the team Sweden without a problem. He's Swedish, right? Not Finnish. It's everyone else on that defensive core who's Finnish.
Yeah.
And a lot's been made that they've kind of done what St. Louis did. And at first I thought not as badly. They bring in Yanni Hakanpää, all that kind of stuff. And then I was kind of like, oh, wait a minute. They signed 36-year-old Ryan Suter for 4 years. Now,
there's the replacement.
Yeah, there it is.
So I don't understand what is with the NHL and GMs thinking that they can replace elite talent by committee, because it just doesn't work. This is not Moneyball. It does not work like that.
I very much agree with that. I just think I saw somewhere that, they said Dallas, it's Dallas's go for it. It's like, no, it's been Dallas's go for it for a couple of years now. And
what?
They made it to the Cup final.
Yeah.
That's about, and questions about that, but whatever. I just don't see how removing John Klingberg and bringing in Yanni Hakanpää and Ryan Suter as essentially replacements. You're going to bring someone else in that's going to cost less than John Klingberg and replace his minutes.
Now, I was about to see a silver lining here because Miro Heiskanen and Esa Lindell are signed long-term. But, yeah, it's a good point where what are they doing with Ryan Suter getting 4 years?
So,
and just
no, go on, Daniel.
Looking back on that, looking at everywhere else on that roster where it's just, I don't know, it's just, so much money's tied to offense, but it's still lacking, I feel like, every time.
What's the joke I always make? It's, oh, wow, Sagan and Ben are on 15-game goalless droughts for the third time this year. So I just want to quickly talk about, Yanni Hakanpää has been in the league this is his 4th season. The most games he's played in the season was 2021 last year, obviously. It's 41 plus 15 because he was traded. Put up 4 points. Cool. Very nice. Ryan Suter has not put up more than 50 points since 2015-16. I believe 51 is his career high. And John Klingberg, 40, 58, 49, 67, 45, 32, 36 on a team that can't score, and then back-to-back. The last time he played the full 82-game season was when he put up 67 points, and that was the year people were putting him in the Norris conversation. 40, 50 points if he's healthy. I don't know how you're going to replace that offense. And listen, yeah, they're paying a bunch of forwards who can barely ever score, and at this point, Tyler Seguin, when do we start having about the conversation with Tyler Seguin about him being sort of, I hate the term injury prone, but is Tyler Seguin really a first-line center anymore? Is that a hot take?
That might be a hot take. I would still put him in the first-line center role. Is he one of the top centers in the league that he was 3 years ago, per se? No, and I think injuries have a lot to do with that. But I don't know if I'm ready to say he's not a first-line center. That's just me.
He's a first-line center, but he's not because I don't think he's a franchise center, but he's below a franchise center, if that makes sense. So it's a bona fide first-line center. I'm saying center so many times, but he's not quite a second-line center in the conventional sense, not in a Crosby Malkin or a Tavares Matthews kind of thing.
So there you go. He's not as good as Tavares. He's not as good as Malkin. Not as good as Draisaitl, but he's better than Sean Monahan, for example.
Yeah.
So he's this weird B plus. A minus category
Yeah,
is Tyler Seguin.
because I wouldn't like. I think we've become very, in a way, spoiled with the amount of 1-2 punches there are across the league. Like Matthews, Tavares, Crosby, Malkin, Kuznetsov, Backstrom. Go to Tampa Bay, Point and Stamkos the first couple of years. Like I just think we have this new definition of this 1B center, but there's still this idea that a second line center exists, I would say.
Listen, what is it's centermen are weird. I don't even think people can universally agree of what a real number one center even is anymore, because it's like the best centermen in the league are naturally the best players. So where is the normal middle ground? It's so confusing. Should have mentioned, by the way, we're kind of radioing Merrick. He did say that Klingberg wants to stay. They want him to stay, but that same thing was said about Alex Pietrangelo. They
Right.
gave all the money elsewhere, and see what's happening right now.
I pulled up the defensemen who are set to expire next year, and the
Ooh,
list
big
of
list.
names isn't necessarily outstanding because so many of them have signed extensions. So they're PK, Chris Letang, Strawman, Ristolainen. Like all these guys I have here have already signed extensions, so I'd expect something to be done quite soon.
Did you say Chris Letang?
Is a UFA at the end of this
Yeah.
year, correct?
But
So
he
was
wants to stay in
Malkin.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
So
well,
is Malkin, yes.
I'm just let's just wow, isn't that was sorry, that's just very sneaky all of a sudden. Malkin and Letang are up, eh?
And Hampus Lindholm. Everyone talks about Josh Manson, but Hampus Lindholm is also up.
He's just looking at it. It's like, no, I'm gonna make like $8 million. Yum 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 yum.
Exactly.
He's
And
the
I'm
only guy
sure
that's
he'll
been able to
stay.
stay healthy on that team, and he's a minute muncher.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll stay in Anaheim. Important part of the defense.
Dom
there.
Luszczyszyn's a fan of him.
I think a lot of people are.